Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our review of Animal Kingdom Season 5, Episode 3. We're a good chunk of the way into this story now. Are we moving fast enough?
I got some hot takes in this video. You guys know that I really like Animal Kingdom, so some of these kind of pain me to say after waiting for this show to come back for like 2 years, but we're going to get into it. We'll always be honest with you here on what our thoughts are.
Yeah, I think this was an episode of definitely some highs, definitely some lows. We're going to go on a little bit of I don't know if that's like a bumpy road or what I'm doing with my hand, but who cares? All right, hit that subscribe button because we're every week talking about the highs and lows of this show alongside other great stuff like Power Book 3, Raising Kanan.
Yeah, we have a review up for that now. It aired last night. It's up from last night. It's also it is a very good show, and it is a very good start to the season. We're 2 episodes in on that, 3 episodes here. So, what should we start with?
I'll say one thing positive first. I'll get us started on a good thing here.
Okay, we'll start with all the good stuff.
I really like the dirt bike sequence.
Loved it!
Okay,
loved it. 10 out of 10.
I felt like we didn't even discuss this in advance. It's just I feel like we all know what this show is really good at, which is sort of let's get the Cody guys doing some crazy stunt work. You got Pope sitting back in the van waiting for them to all. It's if the whole show was just this, I wouldn't even care, honestly.
No, this is great. And this is what the show really does best when it comes to the Cody boys. Their sort of heists and the fact that they aren't afraid to do sort of more of these extreme sports and dirt biking and hanging out of planes and whatever they have to do, they will do it. And that is a lot of what makes this show really special from other heist shows where it's sometimes a lot more planning and that sort of thing, where here it's a lot of let's hang off the side of this cliff and then dirt bike over it. It's just kind of whoa, okay.
I always describe Animal Kingdom in my head as sort of like the TV version of GTA, and I'm just the more that you guys can kind of just lean into that, I want to picture Jay on his motorbike with that 5 stars that's blinking when all the police are really after you in GTA. I picture that there.
What I did also really like about that very end where they get to that cliff that is just too high.
Yeah.
When we sort of first started this series, Craig and Darren would have just rode their bikes right off it. They wouldn't even have taken a second to think about it. But now that we kind of think about their lives and where they've gone, Craig's a father, Darren's, had love and has lost love and he's a little more mature now. Watching Jade just be like, I am going, see you guys. This was the way to go about it.
Yeah, all of that stuff. Totally all in on that. I am at least mostly in on Pope calling out all of Jay's side businesses. I don't know why.
No, I was all in on that too, because this is the story that I am sort of the most interested in, which is who is going to lead this group. And Jay holding on to all these secrets, Pope knows a little, other people know a little, and I was waiting for Craig and Darren after that scene to really start to talk about what are we going to do about this. Where instead it was more about, well, what do you think about this? Well, I don't like it. Well, I don't like it either. All right, I'll see you later. There was no, well, what are we going to do about it? Because they need to do something about it or it's just going to continue to get worse. They already know he's lied to them about the lawyer and other stuff he's known that he didn't share. And now there's all these secret businesses, and Darren and Craig have got to figure something out.
It's one of these sort of situations where, if let's just say this, we're on the channel together, we're doing things together. It's how would you react if you suddenly found that I had a secret bowling alley that you didn't know about? Or
you would be dead to me.
It is just how dare you not let me come and bowl at your place?
The thing that I found the most interesting about that confrontation was mostly about Darren, and when we had Jay saying, basically, I didn't steal from you guys. I stole from Smurf.
Yeah.
And Darren's saying, no, you stole from all of us. If you steal from one of us, you steal from all of us. And just because we all had our problems with Smurf, it doesn't mean that you can steal from the family. Like, it's a no.
Okay, those are the things I feel good about on this episode. Are we hit as the record about the scratch and we're moving elsewhere now?
Okay, let's hit the curve.
Okay.
So here's my hot take on this. This show needs Smurf, and it does. Or it needs to give the Cody boys something to do, because we've watched Pope rolling around with Smurf's ashes for 3 episodes now, and I understand that he is distraught, and we've got to be building to something. But right now, it feels like with Pope, we're not building to anything. He is wallowing in this sadness. He doesn't know where to turn. He's laying in bed with ashes. He's laid at the pool with ashes. He's had ashes all over his face. He just isn't moving anywhere. And this is the same also with Darren's hookups. So he's also not really moving anywhere. His bar is doing fine. We know that there's this little bit, of sniffing around with Adrian and where he is. But really, it's just he's at home having these wild hookups, hurting other people because he's hurting. It's like, okay, so where are we going with this? And then we got Craig, who's just been trying to run Ren's business to be like, listen, you can't do this out of the house anymore. You can't work anymore, but I can do what I want. And it's kind of like, I just don't care. That's what it is. I don't care. I want to see these guys fighting for the crown. That's what this season promised me in the promo. Where's the fight?
I could not be more out on the Craig and Ren storyline. And I'm sorry, to the actors. I'm sorry to whoever's come up with those ideas. It's just like, that is the weakest part of this show to me right now, and it's not even close. Like, I could care less about anything that's going on there. That's fine. I can lose all of that. Okay, here's, I guess, my pseudo-hot take on some of this, because I agree with a lot of you. There needs to be some big driving force in the present. And that's why are you guys not bringing in Pamela Johnson in the present already? It's like, you established that she's alive, she's out there, she's the beneficiary to Smurf. It's like, that could be the sort of unifying force for everyone. That could be the quote-unquote big bad, but we're 3 episodes in, and it's like, instead of like showing us and giving us a chance to hear about Smurf and Pamela in the present, you're just giving us these flashbacks, which aren't actually that relevant now because we already know how Smurf's story ends.
Yeah, it feels a lot like they're saving Pamela because that's the big mystery. Why did Pamela get all the money? And they still don't have to reveal that by bringing Pamela in the present. They can start to put these flashbacks going alongside of what is happening with Pamela in the present. But I've enjoyed some of the Smurf flashbacks. I've mostly enjoyed it for seeing young Pope, if I'm being honest, and sort of seeing where he was as a really young boy and how he was being raised to where he is now dealing with his grief of losing Smurf. But now we're 3 episodes of this, and it's enough. Like, Pope needs to move in another direction. All 3 boys, I'm not including Jay in this because Jay has a storyline. He is not my favorite character. But Jay has a storyline going on. He is juggling all the Cody boys and figuring out what he wants to do and making a deal here with Pete and working over here with Frankie and getting these heists together. Jay's got a great story. Why are the other 3 not involved a lot more into this, or getting really pissed off that they don't know what's going on? Like, we even had them all show up at the plane where Jay knew that money wasn't there. And they all showed up thinking money was there, and they're just holding up drugs being like, this ain't money. What is going on? There should have been a way stronger, how are we going to deal with this?
I really hope we get there. Like, these guys are all older than Jay. They all have more experience than Jay. Like, they should not be letting Jay sort of jerk them around. And I understand that Jay, like, admittedly, this is why I'm fascinated about Jay. He's not necessarily my favorite character either, but I'm intrigued by him because he's such a strange person. Like, I don't know if I've ever...
he's odd.
Yeah, I've never met anyone like Jay. And there's just like an underlying...
That's probably for the best.
Okay, you're probably right.
He's a psychopath.
Yeah, and I think it's because he's a psychopath that there is like this underlying just terror just being around this guy. And I want to see the show sort of play into this a little bit more. And why are you guys not standing up? Is it because you're afraid of Jay? Like, admit that then. Like, that's at least interesting. It can be explored.
Yeah, or if you're really, really worried about Jay, then you need to bring him in way further because they kind of keep him at an arm's length, a bit like Pope. I mean, Craig and Darren have a really close relationship that is very different with what's going on with Pope and what is going on with Jay. Now, there was also another really sort of like an almost there, but they missed moment where we saw Pope stand up after Darren and Craig left and talk to Jay for a second about his mom, where he was kind of like, how did you feel or how were you dealing with, like when your mom died sort of thing. And I was like, this could be a really strange, odd, but good conversation if Jay wasn't such a psychopath and he didn't just was like, she's gone. All right, what's next? Oh, I'm living with Grandma Smurf. All right. Like, there just wasn't anything there to connect with for Pope. And that's why I was kind of like, man, kind of a miss there. This could have been something.
Yeah, I don't know how exactly they could have been stronger because it's sort of like could you guys have given Jay a couple more lines? Could you have given Pope like a slightly different reaction? Because on paper, it seemed like a really good, really interesting scene, and it almost is really fascinating, and they could have played into this as well, where Pope is so desperate, I think, just to feel something or relate to somebody that he's going to Jay, who he knows is just very like machine-like and emotionless. He's barking up a very bad tree here.
Yeah, but he knows that he's also lost his mom, and it was also just kind of overall interesting that Pope decided to talk to Jay about it instead of talk to his brothers about it. And I mean, he clearly feels on the outs with them because they are very close, and he hasn't been able to make that inroad with his two brothers the way that they have with each other. Then maybe Pope is then instead going to go to Jay and talk to him about it because, Julia was his mom, and that was this is a big kind of mystery about the show, is really like, what is the weirdness about Julia? Like, how did she go from being this young kid who's concerned about her brother and wanting to be more stable to where she ended up?
It's like, that is stuff I really want to see explored even more. I would almost be cool with just like not necessarily a standalone Pope episode, but just like a huge chunk of the next episode just fully sort of devoted to him to better understand his full scope of his emotional process, and not just him rolling around with Smurf's ashes, but trying to sort of understand the sheer aloneness of losing his mom. Angela just like skips town out of the blue, and the show doesn't really even bother to explain that.
Yeah, and he has no real relationship with his brothers. Like, he is truly, really alone. He doesn't have anyone that he can depend on or really lean on, so that he gets to the point that he's not even going to go to his brothers to lean on them and be like, hey, I'm feeling a certain way about losing our mom, because for some reason, Craig and Darren don't seem to care at all. Yeah. Like, they're just moving on with their lives. Darren only cares about Adrian. He doesn't care about Smurf at all. And then you've got Craig, who only cares about his kid, which I understand, but you can care about more than one thing. Yeah. That we have Pope going to Jay, that this is where he is. He has no one.
It's like, I get it that Smurf wasn't Mother of the Year. Like, I know that she was mean. I know all of these things.
But she's still your mama.
Yes, she's still your mama. And when you lose your mama, I would think you would have a little bit more of a reaction.
Yeah, it's just, they need to just get all of the Cody boys better stories. They have to move Pope's story along. Like, it started out very strong, but it's 3 episodes in, so it is time to move him forward in whatever direction he's going to go in. Jay is fine with what's going on with him, but the other two, Darren and Craig, they just have nothing to do.
Yeah.
And it just felt like when Smurf was on the show, she was like a great sort of foil for them, where they always had something to do because she was always, 10 steps ahead of them. They could never really get ahead of the curve. And it was exciting to sort of see them kind of try and fail and almost get there, or sometimes get there. Like, it was a lot more fun. Now it's just kind of like, okay, you took out what made these boys all sort of be crazy, be happy, be, adventurous, all of these things. And now she's gone. And it's just strange.
They need somebody to answer to. Like, it's like when you're out on the heist, you got to be that, like, fear in the back of your head that, like, oh no, if this goes wrong, like, somebody is going to just completely just take me out afterwards.
Yeah, that's why I thought that this season was really going to be what they sold me, which is who wants to be the king?
Yes.
Who wants to be the king and wear the crown? And, of course, Jay does, but it seems like the other brothers just don't.
Yeah.
I mean, what I'm hoping is actually that Pope is going to get through on the other side of this and find himself a bit more. Let's go on an adventure with Pope, where he finds his own footing, and then he's like, I'm ready to be king.
I want that. I want awesome, just like, take no
For
prisoners.
all you Vikings fans out there, you know what I'm talking about when I'm like, who wants to be king?
You are the biggest Vikings fan. Like,
I love that show. It's so good.
What's not to like here, really? Okay, well, we'll, I guess, wrap this up with for all of you Nikki fans out there.
Yeah, in case you're wondering what happened to her, she married a Marine, and that's what's happening.
Okay, yeah, Nikki's not my favorite character. I guess it's good for them for updating us.
Sure, she's been gone a long time. It's all right. Good for you. I hope you have a nice life. You don't need to return.
Hey, okay, with all of that, what did you guys think about Animal Kingdom Season 5, Episode 3? Do you agree that this show needs more direction for all of the Cody boys, needs a Smurf or some other unifying figure? Let us know. Subscribe to the channel for more of our weekly thoughts, and check out our coverage of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan.
Yep.
Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you here next time.